What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you are having a wonderful day. Today we are going to be teaching you guys how to do credit spreads on thinkorswim, and I'm going to be explaining the fastest way to learn how to do a credit spread in general. So after I show you how to do them on thinkorswim, I'll probably do a couple on Robinhood. But before we get in the video, be sure to leave a like on the video. It helps the channel grow, and it also helps me know that you guys are enjoying these videos I'm posting. Now, in order to identify a credit spread, you're going to need to know what in the money and at the money is. At the money is the option contracts that are right next to where the stock price is. So the stock price on Starbucks right now is $86.57. So technically, since it's $86.57, the 86.5 on the call side would be in the money, and the 87 would be at the money, if that makes sense. Just because on the call side, the 86.5 would actually be 7 cents in the money, so the 87 would be the at the money, the 86.5 would be the in the money on the call side, and then it would still be the same thing over here on the put side. The 87 would be in the money, and the 86.5 would be at the money. And if Starbucks dropped 7 cents or lower, then the 86.5 on the put side would be in the money, and the 86.5 on the call side would be out of the money. So options are pretty much just the opposites of each other on the call and the put side, whether you buy or sell them. I have a bunch of videos on those, so you just got to go back and check all of those videos out if you don't really understand what I'm saying. I have a lot of good content that'll explain every single detail about options, so be sure to go check out those past videos I've made. But once you know what in the money and at the money is, all you really need to know to do a credit spread is you're always going to be selling the contract that's closer to in the money. So on the put side, I would be selling like the 86 and the 85.5, and that would be a credit spread. On the call side, I would be selling like the 88 and the 88.5, and that would be a credit spread on the call side. Now, if you did credit spreads in the money, it would be the same thing. You would just sell the contract that's farther in the money, but I really don't recommend doing a in the money spread because there's early assignment and exercise risk that kind of sucks when it happens, and if you're not on the right broker, sometimes it can really mess up your order, so I don't really recommend those. But just keep in mind, if you're doing a credit spread, you're always going to be selling the contract that's closer to in the money. Now, that's probably the most basic way I can explain it, so I hope that makes sense. Now, in order to do the credit spread on thinkorswim, I think a lot of people don't really understand how to do it. You're going to right click on the sell of whatever contract you're trying to sell. So I'm going to be selling this 87 call, and then I'm going to be buying the 87.5, and spreads on thinkorswim are actually called verticals. So you're going to right click on the contract you want to sell, you're going to go up to vertical, and then all you got to do is click on it, and it's going to set up the vertical for you. Now, if you want to do a wider spread on the strike prices, a different date, whatever you want to do, you can change that all in this order. But that's the best part about thinkorswim. All you got to do is find the contract you want to sell, hit the vertical, and then it kind of sets up the order for you, and you can change it to however you want it to be. Now, it is aftermarket, so I'm not going to be able to do this order, but let's say I actually really liked this play. I wanted the $18 in credit. What I'm saying here by selling this call credit spread is that Starbucks can go past 87, but I don't think it's going to go any farther than 87.5. If Starbucks ends the week higher than 87.5 and these contracts expire, I'm going to lose all my collateral, which is the difference between the strike prices. So in this case, I got the 87 and the 87.5. So my collateral is going to be $50. You minus the credit you receive, so $18. So my total collateral is going to be about $32 on this, plus the commissions, which are about 65 cents each. So the total credit we're actually receiving here on thinkorswim is $16.68, and then our collateral is $50 minus $16.68, so that's like $34 about. I like doing my credit spreads on Robinhood, which I'll show you guys after I do one more on this, because I need to show you the put side. So let's say we wanted to do a 85.5 credit spread on the put side. We sell the 85.5 and buy the 85. We would go to the 85.5, right click on it, go to the sell, go to the vertical, and boom, it sets it up for us. Just like last time, our collateral is the difference between the strike prices, so $50 in this case. Let's say we want to do a $100 difference, feeling a little more risky. We could change this to the 84.5. Now our collateral is $100, but we're going to be receiving $34 in credit minus the commissions, so we're going to be receiving $32.68. So our collateral is $100 total minus $32.68. That's like $68 of total collateral. So our total collateral on this is $68. So if Starbucks stock ends below 84.5, we're going to lose all of our collateral. So we're going to lose the whole $100 minus our credit. So we're actually only going to lose the $68. We're not going to lose $100 total. We're only going to be losing $68 because we did receive $34 in credit up front. And if it ends anywhere in between these contracts, we can still make money depending how far away it is from the 85.5. But our ideal situation is that we want the stock to end above 85.5 so we can receive our max credit and not have to pay any collateral at all. And that's kind of the objective for these credit spreads. Now, just one last review. Just remember, when you're doing a credit spread, you're always going to be selling the closer to the in-the-money contract. And here on Thinkorswim, credit spreads are called verticals, so you just got to remember that another term for a credit spread is a vertical, and that's how you set it up here on Thinkorswim. Now, let's get into Robinhood, and I'll show you guys how to do it on there. And then if you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments below, and I'll answer them for you guys. All right, so we're in the Robinhood. We got a stock that's pretty similar to Starbucks. As you can see, the stock price is at $50.84, so the in the money on the call side would be the 50.5 and the at the money would be the 51, and then on the put side the in the money would be the 51 and the at the money would be the 50.5. So you always got to keep that in mind. So let's start with a call credit spread. We're going to be selling the one that's closest to in the money. So we could sell any of these contracts, even the ones that are in the money, but I'm going to do this 52. I'm going to sell the 52 call, and then I'm going to buy the 52.5. So as you can see, I'm going to be receiving a total credit of $11, and boom, here's our preview of our order. We got our minimum credit of $11, our total collateral, which is $50, the difference between the strike prices. So our total risk on this play is $39 because you do 50 minus 11, and as long as Intel ends below 52 by October 9th, we'd be able to receive the full $11 credit on this. But if the stock ends above 52.5, we're going to lose all of our collateral minus our credit. So we receive the credit up front. We already have that, but let's just say Intel ended at like 53.5 on October 9th when these contracts expire. We're going to lose all of our collateral, but we already received $11 in credit, so we're only going to be really losing $39, like I said. Now, I hope that makes sense. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll do one more example on the put side. Remember, we're going to be selling the closest to the in-the-money contract, which is 51. So let's just sell the 50 here, and then we'll buy the 49.5 on the put side. Our total credit would be $10. Our total collateral would be $50 again. But let's just say we wanted to get a little more credit. We didn't actually think that Intel could go below $50. And we bought the 49 instead. Now we would be able to receive a lot more credit. We could get about $18 in credit, I would say. Now our collateral is $100 because the difference between our strike prices we have is $1. But we received $16 in credit, so minus that from the 100, that's our total collateral we're risking, and that would be $84. We received that $16 up front, so as long as Intel ends above $50 by October 9th, we're going to receive the full $16 credit. But if Intel ends below $49, we're going to have to pay our full collateral minus our credit, which is $84. You always got to remember, when you're doing credit spreads, you're receiving credit up front. You already have this money in your account, but the collateral is what you're risking minus the credit. And of course, if it ends in between the 50 and the 49, it's just going to depend what price it ends on. It's all going to depend on your break even to where you can actually still make money, and you could still possibly lose money even if it ends in between the contracts, because we're only receiving $16 in credit. So that means our break even on the put side here is $49.84, because you would just take the credit minus your first strike. I hope that makes sense. That's just the break even on these spreads, because you can still make and lose money if it ends between these contracts. So I like to get plays that have a little bit more credit than this, but I'm just trying to show you guys an example. You're always going to be selling the closer to the in the money contracts. You can even sell ones that are actually in the money. So let's just say we wanted to sell this 52 put. We thought Intel was going to go above 52, but we didn't want to play a naked option. We could sell this 52, buy this 51.5. Now we do have like early assignment risk doing this, but I've really never had that issue. I think it really depends what stock you actually buy. Nobody really does early assignment on these stocks that barely even move because it's not really worth it. But as you can see, our credit spread's in the money, but we're still selling the contract closest to in the money because the 51 is just where the in the money starts. As you keep going up, you're just getting closer and closer to being more in the money. So you can sell these contracts that are in the money, but you're going to be selling the contract that's more in the money. So on this contract, we're going to be receiving $35 in credit, but I like receiving a lot more credit up front just because I don't like risking that much on these credit spreads. They can go against you pretty easily, but statistically, these are the best plays you can do in options. Now, I think that's pretty much it for credit spreads. Be sure to leave a like on the video if this helped you out. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I answer every single comment, so I will get to your question. There's also other super nice people in the community that'll help you out. But yeah, I just wanted to get this video out there because I've noticed there's a lot of people that still don't know how to do credit spreads, and I wanted to try to make this as simple as I could, especially on thinkorswim, because they're not even called credit spreads on thinkorswim, they're called verticals. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, leave a like on the video, it helps grow the channel. Leave your questions down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.